Alright, so we're going to pick up where we left off on maximum minimum part 1. So you've copied example 3. So a rectangle is inscribed in a semicircle with a radius of 4. I'm going to do a coordinate plane and do a semicircle with the center being at 0, 0, and you're going to understand that in a second. Just makes it easier. The radius of that circle is 4. So from the center to the end is 4. Alright, then you're going to do a rectangle inscribed where the base is the diameter. So the base is along the diameter. So that's how you're going to draw it. And I'm going to label, let's do, well, since it's on the x-axis, from the center to the end of one of the rectangles is going to be x, and then the height is y. So that means if that's x, the other side is also x because, you know, they're equal because since it's the radius, right? Alright, so I want to remind you of something. So it's going to be base times height. So that means I need to find out what the base is and what the height is. But if I find out what my x value is, I can plug it into the function and it will spit out my y value. So what's this function I'm talking about? Well, it's what is the equation of a circle. This is the equation of a circle where h and k is the coordinate for the center and r is the radius. And again, if you need some more help with that, just let me know and I'll let you know what video you need to watch in order to prepare you. Alright, so the center is 0, 0. So you're going to put h is 0, k is 0. So that's going to be x squared plus y squared equals the radius squared, which is, what's the radius? The radius of the circle is 4. 4 squared is 16. So that's the function that we're dealing with. So that's our equation. I'm going to solve for one of it, so solve for y. When you solve for y, that's what you get. You take x squared to that side, take the square root. So that's the y, that's the height, right? So whatever I get x and I plug it into here, it's going to give me the height. So now I have the height of the rectangle. Well, what's the base of the rectangle? Because I know the area is base times height. The base is x plus x, which means the base is 2x. Alright, so now I've got the height and the base. So now let's talk about the area. Let's then check color in largest area in the question. The area of any rectangle is the base times the height. Alright, so again, what's the base? 2x. And what's the height? The radical 16 minus x squared. I'm just going to rewrite this because I am going to take the derivative and set it equal to 0 to find the maximum and minimum. Alright, so to find the maximum, find the derivative, set it equal to 0, double derivative, make sure it's a maximum minimum. So I'm just going to write square root as the power of 1/2. Alright, now let's take the derivative. So the derivative of the product. So the derivative of the first thing, which is 2, times the second thing left alone, plus the derivative of the second thing, which is going to be a half, times whatever is inside, and then times the baby inside, which is 2x, negative 2x, I'm sorry, and then times the first thing, which is 2x. Alright, let's clean this up a little bit. So we're going to leave the first one the same, but on the second one, I can say the half crosses out with one of the 2's. I can put that on the bottom, and then on the top, I'll just have negative 2x squared. Perfect. Alright, let's make the denominators the same. So what's missing on the first one? The radical. So let's put it on the first one, but if you do it to the bottom, do it to the top. And then leave the second one the same. Alright, simplify that. Now we can subtract them, right? So it's going to be 2 times a radical is whatever is inside. So 16 minus x squared minus 2x squared all over the same radical. Alright, this has to equal to 0. What do we know about rational functions equal to 0? It means the numerator is equal to 0. So get in the house, distribute. So that's going to be 32 minus 2x squared minus 2x squared equals 0. Solving for that, you're going to get 32 minus 4x squared equals 0. Take 4x squared to the negative 4x squared to that side. Positive 4x squared divided by 4 is going to be 8. So x squared is equals 8. So x is the square root plus or minus square root of 8, which simplifies to plus or minus 2 radical 2. So now I found x. Alright, so remember, we're trying to find the area of this rectangle we're making. So that means I'm going to plug in, I need to find out what y is, so then I can do, I can find the area of this rectangle. So all I got to do is plug x back into the one with y, which is y equals radical 16 minus x squared. So when x is plus or minus square root of 8, I'm going to use the unsimplified version, just easier. Y is the radical of 16 minus, and what's radical plus or minus radical 8 squared? Doesn't matter, it's going to just be 8. So it's 16 minus 8, which is radical 8. So remember, the area we're dealing with is a base, which is x plus x, so it's 2 x's. So the base times height will be 2x times the y, and the y now is radical 8, and the x is also radical 8. So 2 times radical 8 times radical 8 is 2 times 8, which is 16. So the area is 60. I didn't bother checking that it's a maximum because I'll do it in the next example. Alright, pause the video, copy that down. This is a listening check. Color in overall dimensions in the question. Alright, so we start off by drawing a picture. So you draw the picture, and then it says that it separates it 4 inches top and bottom, and then 2 inches right and left. Alright, so the total area, actually, you know what, before I do that, the area of the picture, so I need to find what that is, so I'm going to label it X and Y, but just the picture inside. So that's Y, and I'll label that X. So the total area of the picture inside is going to be X times Y, whatever that is. The total area of the entire poster, alright, in terms of X and Y, is going to be, well, what's on the side of that X? There's 2 inches left and right, right? So that's going to be 2, that's going to be 2, so that's going to be 2 plus 2, which is 4, and then the X. And on that side, on the Y, it's 4 and 4, because it's 4 inches. So that's going to be 4 plus X times, and then on the Y one, 4 plus 4 is 8, plus the Y, so 8 plus Y. Go ahead and distribute, okay, in the house. You're going to get 4 times 8 is 32, 4 times Y is 4Y, X times 8 is 8X, and X times Y is XY. Alright, so those are the 2 things that I'm going to be given. And you've noticed the pattern, right? There's always 2 things that you're given because there are always 2 unknowns. If there are 2 unknowns, you need 2 equations so you can find both of them. Alright, I need to make it in terms of the other one. So what am I given? Oh, I'm given the total area of the picture, which is 100. So 100 is equal to XY. So solve for one of them, doesn't matter which one. I'll solve for Y equals 100 over X. Alright, now you're going to plug that back into the area of the poster, the other equation that we have. So everywhere where you see a Y, you're going to put 100 over X. This is a listening check. Color in 400 over X. 400 over X. So the X's are going to cross out. And then you're going to have 32 plus 100 is 132 plus 400 over X plus 8X. So this is the area that we're dealing with. Now we're trying to maximize. So in order to maximize, we're going to take the derivative and set it equal to 0. So the derivative is going to be negative 400 over x squared plus 8. I'll put that equal to 0. Multiply everything by x squared. You're going to get negative 400 plus 8x squared equals 0. Take the 400 to the other side. Divide by 8. So you get x squared is 50. Square root of 50 is, well, just leave it in radical form. Alright, now we need to find out what y is, because remember, we're still trying to find the area of the poster. So I'm going to plug x back in, and I'm going to get y equals, and after I simplify, 2 radical 50. And I'm going to simplify that, I might as well. So radical 50 breaks down 25 times 2, square root of 25 is 5, so that's going to be 10 outside, 2 inside. And I'll break down the x radical, or you can break down the, in fact, that's a listening check. Break down the x equals radical 50 and write it right underneath. So it's the same thing. It's going to be 5 radical 2. So to find out if that's a maximum or a minimum, we take the double derivative and set it equal to 0. So it's going to be 800 over x cubed. I'm going to plug the critical point in and see if it's positive or negative. So plugging it in, square root of 50, 800 over square root of 50 cubed is 50 radical 50. And honestly, you don't even have to simplify. It's positive. That's all you need to know. If it's positive, it means that it's increasing, which means it is a minimum. Now that you have x and y, you're going to plug it back in to find the area of the poster. So remember, it's going to be 4 plus x and then times 8 times y. So you're just going to plug it in. So your overall dimension is going to be, and don't write what I'm about to write here. Don't write that. Instead, write 4 plus 5 radical 2. That's a listening check. Alright, inches, because that's the what it is, by 8 plus 10 radical 2 inches. And that's pretty much it. So let's practice. This road is kind of rough, but it's making me better. Turn up.